Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have my wife's 2021 Kia Seltos, compact SUV from Kia, new for 2021. So let's check it out and see what she brings to the table. Alright guys, so here we are at the front end of the Seltos, and as we move in a little bit closer, as you can see, LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, LED turn signals. We have down here, we have our fog lights. And as we come around to the front, we have that typical Kia Tiger Nose grille with this diamond pattern on it. I like this silver trim that runs around the whole part of the front grille. I think that looks really cool. And then underneath we have some more open grille area here in flat black, which I like. Gloss black is going to show too many dents and dings and stuff. For cooling as well. And then we have underneath, they have provided a skid plate if you're going to take this off-road. So now as we come around to the side here, we have 18-inch wheel. This is the upgraded wheel for the SX trim on the Seltos with the red wheel cap in the middle, which I like. This is a 235 on the width, 45 series sidewall, all four corners, standard 4-piston caliber braking system, all four corners. As you come down to the side here, we have the all-wheel drive badge. I think that's kind of unnecessary. Probably can put that on the back of the car rather than here and clean up the front a bit. We have the white two-tone side mirrors. This is a beautiful blue with a white top, two-tone that my wife chose. I really like the color combination. However, you can't get a sunroof when you get the two-tone paint, which I do not like. You should be able to get a sunroof. As we come down the back, we have chrome door handles, fuel filler cap, and as we come around the back of the car here, we have our Kia badge in the center, the Seltos badge on the left, and on the right we have the SX badge and then the TGDI badge, which means turbo gasoline direct injection engine. And as we come down, we have the infamous fake exhaust vents on the right and on the left. The exhaust is actually underneath. These are fake, do not like that. That has got to go. Either make them functional or get rid of them, put a different kind of design on the back, as far as I'm concerned. And then we have our rear wiper, rear spoiler, third brake light up here. Overall, nice look on the car. Now, to open this, there's no electric assist on the Seltos. You have to hit the button underneath the Kia badge, and up it comes. And this is the storage in the back here. We have our speakers here for the Bose sound system, right, as well as tie downs that you can use here and in the back there. Underneath you have storage. You have a spare, which is nice, and then you have storage for some extra items that you would like to keep in the car and get them out of the way of what you want to store back here. Overall though, for a small compact SUV, nice amount of storage here, nice amount of storage. And you can also take the rear seats down from the side of the seat, not from the back here, and then you'll get even more storage. I can fit, to give you an idea, I can fit one of my bicycles with the seats down in the back and some other items in here. So it is a fairly large area for a subcompact SUV. And to close it, you have your holder up here, and then down it goes. So now we'll move around into the interior and we'll see what Kia is up to on the interior of this all-new Seltos. All right guys, then we're inside the Seltos. Door panels, pretty plain Jane. Gloss black along the door handle no good. You're going to get a lot of fingerprints there. You have soft touch material on the armrest, no gloss black around the window controls or the unlock and lock button for the door, hard plastic on top. Over to the dashboard, hard plastic on top, soft touch here. I like the design around the air con and heating vents. As we move to the center, we have our 4-ways and then more air and heating vents here. Now we're gonna turn the car on, and up here you have your display for the key. Now this is the larger one. In the SX trim you get a larger display. In the lower trims you get a smaller display on the Seltos. And this has all of your information here that you need on your settings, and then you can go back to map. This has Apple CarPlay, this has Android Auto, this has Bluetooth streaming as well. As we move down here, here's your HVAC and controls. Right now we have it set on auto, 70 degrees. You have your front defrost, rear defrost, and which way you want the air to go. Inside the cabin only, or bring air in from the outside, and your AC. Obviously you don't need AC on a day like today, it's only 25 degrees out. Then down below you have wireless charging, which I like in this car. And then down here you have your 12 volt, a USB, and a USB-C as well. Nice little tray here for coins or doodads. We come down here, you have your as well. Nice little tray here for coins or doodads. We come down here, you have your gear shift here for the transmission, which in this car is a 7-speed dual clutch. You have your drive mode selector, where you can select between normal and sport and smart, which is a combination of normal and sport depending on how you're driving. You have your heated seats, but as you can see here, no ventilated seats in this car for either the front driver or the passenger. Diff lock though, this thing does have a differential lock if you want to lock all 4 differentials and go off-road. The way this car is set up, I don't think it's much for being off-road on trails, maybe on a little dirt roads, but it does have a diff lock. Now you have your heated seats for your passenger, and you have a hill descent control here on this one. Over here you have your parking brake and the auto hold button for hills, 2 cup holders, and then we have an armrest. And if you look inside, it's got a nice pocket for all your doodads. My wife has gloves and stuff in here. As we close that, the seats, very comfortable. We have fake leather seats, and they look nice and they feel good to sit on. This is manual assist on the passenger side and auto assist on the driver's side. Pinnacle display, we have standard analog gauges for your speed and revs, and then in the middle you have your 4-inch display for different modes that you would like to go into. I don't know if you can see it, there you go, you see it better there. And you have your mode selector where you can go into different modes, dash, which is nice. You got your standard Kia steering wheel. We have flat black here on the steering wheel. You have your cruise control. This is the button to control the menu, center menu. And then you have your set cruise, resume cruise. This is your lane keep assist. This is your wireless, your phone. And then you have your hands-free. And then the modes, that button here controls this center screen here. On the stalk, you have your windshield wipers controls here and directional, as well as the headlights and controls over here. Then over here you have the controls for your door locks and windows for all 4. And then down here on the bottom, next to your feet, is the lever that you pull to open the gas fuel filler cap. Down here you have your autonomous driving, lane keep assist, traction control, as well as the off button to turn off the stop start features as well. And then the far right there is the lighting options for your dash display. This does have a lot of autonomous driving, blind spot monitoring, active braking, cross traffic alert, radar dynamic cruise control, lane keep assist. National Institute for Highway Safety, best pick for safety for 2021. And something that I looked up to make sure, since my wife was going to buy this and keep this car, I wanted to make sure that it was going to be as safe as possible for her. So now let's jump in the back and see what the back seat's got going on for it. All right, guys, now we're in the back seat, and you know what? This car has a lot more room than you think. I have this front seat set for me as the driver, and I'm 5'11", and I have at least 3-4 inches of room for my knees, and I can stretch my feet out down below pretty well. So overall, really nice space in the back seat. Door panel is the same as the front, right? You got all that gloss black along the door handle, which is going to be a problem. You have your seat pocket for the passenger side, hard plastic on the back, which, you know, at this price point is fine. We have our air conditioning vents back here, and then you have a USB for connectivity in the back, which I think is nice. No pocket, as you can see, for the passenger behind the driver. And as far as your, and here we have a nice soft armrest with 2 cup holders in the back. All right, so we're under the hood, and here is our engine bay. Nice tasteful engine cover, not a very big engine here. We're looking at a 1.6 liter turbo 4-cylinder engine. It's making 175 horsepower at 6,000 RPM. And it also is making 195 pound-feet of torque at 1,500 RPM. Mileage, 25 city, 30 highway, all on regular unleaded gasoline, minimum octane rating 87. All right, guys, we're now in the Seltos, and we're going to take it out for a quick drive. First observation is that this 7-speed dual clutch is a little herky-jerky out of first gear. If you try to really ease the gas pedal, it will jerk you a little bit, so you need to be a little bit more firmer on the gas pedal for a smooth takeoff out of first. Other than that, once you get into second, third, fourth, and up to the higher end of the gears, it's just fine. Steering is very direct. There is no delay when you turn the wheel. Everything is nice and tight. Not a lot of feedback coming out of the steering wheel. You know, it is an electric steering rack. The engine is, I think, plenty peppy enough for the car. It is, like I said earlier, it's 175 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. So it does move this small SUV very, very quickly down the road. It keeps up with traffic, no problem. Merges into traffic, no problem. So I think for a car that is designed to run around town, do some errands, head out on the highway, do some cruising, I think it's set up very, very well, and I think it's set up very, very well in the market against the Hondas and Toyota products. That's pretty much the quick drive that we had planned for the Seltos today, and we're going to head back to the park, and we'll wrap things up from there. All right, guys, we are now wrapping up the review of this 2021 Seltos. My wife picked this up back in March before, you know, the super chip thing creamed the dealers and they don't have any cars right now. So she's lucky she got this when she did. This particular car, exterior color, which I forgot to mention earlier, is dark ocean blue with the white roof. That's a two-tone option for the Seltos. But like I said earlier, if you do that, you don't get the sunroof. I think they need to get that figured out for the 2022 model for sure. Cost. I mentioned that we were going to talk about cost of this. This car, the way it is done up and spec'd out, is $29,960. That is the MSRP. And that is the SX Turbo trim. The trims on this car start at LX and are going to work their way up to the top trim, which is the SX Turbo. Now, what would I like to see in addition on this car, since it is the top trim for the Seltos? Even with a price point under $30,000 and barely under $30,000. The car needs to have memory seats for the driver. Memory seats have been out in the car industry since the 1950s, believe it or not, when Cadillac introduced them. 60 years, memory seats have been out. I don't care if this is a small car that is one of the entry-level Kias on the SUV range, you need to have memory seats for the driver. The technology is so old, it costs you nothing to put it in. So Kia, if you're listening, put the memory seats in for the driver and put in two for the person who owns the car and for the husband who likes to drive it on occasion. So please consider that. I'm not going to hammer them over the failure to have ventilated seats in a Seltos, even though it's the SX trim. What I found interesting was when I looked at the 2022 Forte GT line, for a $25,000 price point, they have heated and ventilated seats in that car. So I'm hoping in 2022, for this SX Turbo trim, they should have ventilated seats. Let's move it up a notch. I like the technology in here. I think the technology is great. You get your larger display. This is a 10.25-inch display that I showed you earlier, compared to the standard 8-inch display on the lower trims. And again, like I said, it has all of those features for safety, which I really like. That sets it up really well when you're looking at cross-shopping this car with Honda HR-V or the Toyota CR-V. Those are the two main competitors of this car. Or the sister brand, the Hyundai Kona, which shares the platform with this car. Even though I think this car has more interior room, it doesn't feel like a subcompact SUV. It feels much bigger than that on the inside. So overall, a big like on this car from me. My wife really likes it as well. And also, you gotta love the warranty that Kia is bringing. 5-year, 60,000 mile, limited bumper to bumper, with a 5-year, 60,000 mile roadside assistance, as well as 10-year, 100,000 mile powertrain, engine, and transmission. Now, what we got from our dealer when we got this was, at the time, back in March, they were offering a lifetime warranty through the dealer on the engine. So now we also have a lifetime warranty through the dealer on the engine as well. My wife tends to keep cars a long time. And so what we did on this particular car, even though it's not a real expensive car, is we put on paint protection film on the front end of the car, which covers the hood, both front fenders, the headlights, as well as the side view mirrors. Because when you have a car over time, especially a car with dark paint like this dark ocean blue color, you're going to get hammered with stone chips driving it around. And what the paint protection film will do is it will protect the paint from those stone chips. And also, this particular paint protection film is self-healing, which means if you get a bunch of stone chips on the front of the car, it's only on the paint protection film. You put warm water on the film and those stone chips disappear. It's wonderful to keep the front of your car looking clean and free of those awful stone chips, especially when you know the primer underneath the dark paint is going to be white, and then they'll really stand out. So something to think about if you're going to keep a car a long time. If you're leasing it, or you're going to just keep it a year and get rid of it, then I wouldn't bother, because it is $2,000 for that front end paint protection film. But if you're going to keep it a long time, and my wife averages keeping a car anywhere between 5 and 10 years, then I think that might be something you want to look into. I appreciate everybody tuning in to the channel, and I wish everybody a great rest of their weekend, and we'll see you guys on the next video.